So here we are, walking earth, celebrating life. From sun up to sundown, shadows in the night. From Stonehenge to the sons of Chichen Itza, with sundogs and rainbows and colors to greet ya. Tibet and Himalaya, I seek a rainmaker. I travel with ease and breeze through those ley lines and grid lines and ley lines and grid lines. Yes, upon her body, yeah. I say, yo, knock, knock, who is it? It's fear. Fear is at the door, cause fear can only catalyze me anymore, yeah. And if you get a chance, why don't you...
He's been serving the Dharma for most of his life, as far as I can tell, and we're very inspired and grateful to have him here today. So without further ado, let's welcome Lama David Curtis.
Hello, everyone. It's great to be here. That was fun. I love those dances. I have notes for this one. I was in town walking around the block reading my notes, and it started to rain. And I thought, well, this is good. This is auspicious. It's very nice to be back here and see so many friends. It sounds cliched, but it's been a long time, and it's been really wonderful to spend a little time here today with all of you. I want to begin by thanking Tulku Sangha Rinpoche and Lama Somo for basically bringing this to us, and all the hundreds, actually, I guess, and thousands of people near and far that have played some role in making AWAM happen. You know, fulfilling Rinpoche's vision, this peace garden. And I want to thank Deborah and all of you who have helped make today happen, this, I guess, 11th Festival of Peace. So I feel quite a strong connection both with the place, its overall mission, you know, as articulated by Tulku Sangha Rinpoche, and also the Peace Festival, you know, something that we need in our lives, right? A little more influence from the spiritual dimension, and peace being an important part of that. So I guess it was 13 years ago that my family and I met Rinpoche and first came here. So Rinpoche named this place AWAM, and I thought I would talk about that word a little bit, since I'm kind of a language person. I like words. So AWAM is probably in Sanskrit they pronounce it something a little bit more like Avam, but in Tibetan we don't have a V, so V's get turned into W's. So I used to be called Dawi instead of David because the V became a W, and then they don't pronounce a D at the end. But anyway, so AWAM is two syllables in Sanskrit, and the first one refers to the feminine wisdom principle, and the second one refers to the masculine compassion principle. So in the enlightened state, we have those two qualities fully perfected, wisdom and compassion. So I think it's quite a wonderful name. So I've been asked today to talk about living joyfully in the West. And I was telling a friend of mine about that on the phone, and she said, that's not possible to live joyfully in the West. And I said, well, I'm going to talk about how, you know, you can become happy even in crazy times like this. And she said, that's not possible. And then I was reminded of a friend that translated a book, and one of the great masters said, that book is so profound it can't be translated into English. But then another one said, well, let's try anyway. And so I'm kind of all about trying anyway, you know, and so I'm going to try to talk about that which can't be talked about, I guess. So I often quote to my friends and anyone that will listen. Actually, it was not very far from here when I first came upon this quote many years ago. I was rereading Be Here Now, and in Be Here Now there's a quote by a Tibetan master. I didn't know this name was so strange, Kalu Rinpoche. It didn't make any sense to me, and I couldn't place it. Didn't know where it was, and there was no explanation. But that was just an hour or so from here, back a few decades ago. And then Deanna, my wife, and I wound up going to study Buddhism in France. We were in France for 6 years, and it turned out that we were at Kalu Rinpoche's monastery, one of his many monasteries, his Western centers. But in the quote, he says, "You live in illusion in the appearance of things. There is a reality. You are that reality." So I want to talk about that a little bit. So it's quite easy to see now, without looking too far, that there's a great deal of difficulty and a great many problems in the world. And those manifest in all kinds of different ways, strife within the individual person, stress and tension and anxiety, stress and difficulty in relationships, war instead of peace, devastation of the natural environment. We can go on and on and on. It can get depressing really quickly. So my friend is a little bit obsessed with that, I think, a little bit over-focused on that when she tells me it's impossible to be happy in the world. And I think she thinks I'm a little bit of an idiot. Yeah, it was Jackson Browne, wasn't it? Back in the 80s, had a song where he talked about being a happy idiot, just giving it all up and going to be an ordinary person and be a happy idiot. Anyway, I don't think it's necessary to be an idiot to be happy. So this quote, there's a lot going on in that quote, but one of the things I want to point out about it is it points out that there are two realities that we all experience. And one is that ordinary daily life reality, with all of its ups and downs, joys and sorrows and all of that. If you want to look at the difficult side of it, then in Hamlet, Shakespeare refers to the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. So we have all of that in our attempt to deal with it. So we go up and down from sadness to joy and, back and forth like that a lot. Struggle, in the ordinary human life. But then the great masters have pointed out that there's actually another dimension of us, another aspect of life itself. And that's the greater reality. So people often tell us to get real or, realistic, even we use that word, get realistic. Well, when we look at that word, this other dimension, I think, we call that the sacred dimension or the spiritual dimension sometimes. So we live in these two realities, and the Buddhist masters refer to them sometimes as the absolute and the relative. So on the relative, that's where we have the duality and the struggle and the strife. And the Buddha taught that even though we participate in both of these realities all the time, we ignore the one. We ignore the inner dimension, the spiritual dimension, the sacred dimension, and that's what causes us all the difficulty. So we happen to live in a culture and time right now where that is actually denigrated and not believed in by a huge percentage of the population. And the people that are in power, I guess you could say, that are running the corporate capitalism and exploitative governments and corporations, corporate capitalism, I guess I'm referring to. These are people that don't recognize the existence even of the other dimension or the validity of such things as love and compassion. So it's been said that we live in a culture where there's an absence of the sacred. And I think this is the root of all the problems that we have. So we work on an outer level to change things sometimes, but I think that the fundamental cause needs to be addressed. And I think the fundamental cause is, it's actually what the Buddha called ignorance. And one of my teachers, Anam Thubten Rinpoche, I know lots of you know him. He's good friends with Tugu Sangnak Rinpoche and Khenpo Ram. He pronounces that word ignorance. And I think that's really interesting. So it's the ignoring of the sacred and that the whole spiritual dimension that has actually got us in the trouble that we're into. That's the primary cause. And then that leads to a dualistic way of living where we have a we and others. So one example, then we have the people that want the resources then exploiting the earth, for one thing. And then they think that's not a problem because it's other, you know, it's not really alive and it's just matter, and so it has stuff that we want, so we can take it. And then we treat other people that way too. You know, from culture to culture. We couldn't really have war and kill other people if we thought of them as family members and same as, you know, one with us. But I made up this word, otherize. We otherize them, and they're you know, then make them somehow less real than we are and less important than we are, so we can exploit them. And so, of course, countries do this and have always done it throughout history. But I think the root of that is the delusion that of this otherness, this self and other, that duality, that dichotomy. I think that's illusory. So laboring, I have a note here, laboring under this delusion of separateness has allowed us to exploit the assumed other, whether it be the feminine, the earth, or the native. Buddha further taught that that this dualistic outlook not only separates us from other people, but it also separates us from the sacred, including our own true sacred nature. So if people think that the divine only resides in some other place, some other time, some other dimension, or some other person, or in the past, you know, then they've otherized that. They've otherized the sacred or the divine. Whereas the Buddha taught us about, well, in the Buddhist tradition, we call it Buddha nature. That's the true nature of mind and the true nature of reality, and it is that we are one with. And when we alienate or make other that, it's like we're tearing ourselves apart. We're tearing life apart when we do that. So the primary separation that happens, there are all these little separations, you know, between, say, one family and their neighbors, but just within a family, people, between sexes, between nations, you know, all of that stuff. It's a form of otherizing. But the point that I want to suggest is that the primary otherization that we're engaging in is alienating ourselves from the sacred. Versus recognizing, as the Buddha taught us, and many other people have taught us this too throughout time and all around the world, that actually we are sacred. So when Kalu Rinpoche says you live in illusion and the appearance of things, it appears that we're separate. That's what he's talking about. So then I posit an ego separate self, and then once we have the separate self, that gives rise to all the crazy behavior that's powered by such things as greed, delusion, hatred, anger, jealousy, all of that stuff. So Albert Einstein is articulate about the problem, and another one of my favorite quotes, he said, "A human being is part of the whole called by us universe," so that's just a name that we give to the whole, right? A part limited in time and space. So in this incorrect view, the individual limits himself in time and space. This is just me right here, and I stop right here, and then you're out there, and everything else is out there. The individual that does this and experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings as separate from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. So Einstein here is echoing what the Buddha said. This is an illusion or delusion when we create this separation. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, Einstein continues, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest us. Well, if we contrast this to, say, the Native American or the Native Tibetan version that everyone is sacred and everything is sacred, then the land is sacred, the trees are sacred, the water is sacred, the wind is sacred, everything is sacred like that, it leads to just life lived in the sacred. And the sacred for me has to do with love and appreciation and actually celebration and joy too. So we have a paucity, we have a lack of those things in the world today. And I think it's because of this optical delusion, this prison that we've confined ourselves to. Now, when I say we, I mean, I'm kind of talking to the choir here, right? Preaching to the choir, because I don't mean we, us right here. I'm talking globally, right? So laboring under this delusion of separateness has allowed us to exploit the assumed other again. So what is to be done? We might ask. So I think we're at a time now, the Buddha's famous for speaking for truth in his first teaching, and the Tibetan and Sanskrit Buddhist world are very metaphorical, and they're speaking, and they talk about the Buddha's first teaching as turning the wheel of the Dharma. So his first teaching, then he said that we have suffering. There's, so there's like a problem. It's like if we think, looking, Houston, we've got a problem. There's a serious problem here, and each of us individual people has a problem. Mick Jagger put it his way, right? Can't get no satisfaction. See, so no matter what we do, and I've had the good fortune, maybe, or the interesting, curious fortune to meet some famous and really wealthy people, and they're not any happier than any of us here. I mean, I know that sounds cliche, but I'm just speaking from my own direct experience. And so the Buddha said that this problem actually has a cause. And so many of us now, not just those of us here, but many people in the world recognize that we have some very serious problems now, globally speaking. But not very many people understand what the cause might be. And so the Buddha taught that the cause has to do with ignorance, this non-recognition. I'd like to say it's non-recognition of reality, our own individual reality, the reality of others, the reality of the world. We just don't know what's going on. But our ego selves that lives in that world of separation, the world separate from the sacred, the world that posits others, then thinks that it knows what's going on, just like the heads of the corporations and the militaries and the governments, they say that they know what's going on. And so then they act, and their actions are often based on greed, delusion, anger, jealousy, these types of things. We know about wars that were started just out of somebody being angry at somebody else, or jealous, or their ego was, threatened by somebody else, so they make war, like as if it were some kind of abstract thing. So the Buddha taught that there was this suffering in the world, and we don't need to be convinced of that too much, most of us now. We don't have to look too far. Actually, breathing right now or looking out I think is indication of a problem that's not natural. So Einstein has suggested a solution to the problem. And then in that Kalu Rinpoche quote, there's a little more that I didn't quote, there's a suggested solution, and even Albert Einstein. So the Buddha, Albert Einstein, and many great masters in the Buddhist tradition have been quite articulate about both the problem, the cause of problem, and the solution of the problem. So the Buddha pointed out that anything that comes about in this world of ours has some kind of cause, and also it has some kind of stopping. Anything that arises then ceases. And so too, so that's kind of bad news for the ego sometimes. We're kind of on a roll with something and we're really happy, but then it ends, it's over. And can you remember being a little kid, and maybe not a little kid, and a movie you really like ends and you go, oh, it's over. But also, this is true about suffering, the Buddha pointed out, that it has an end. And so the end has to do, ending it, stopping it, has to do with the recognition of what the cause is, and then actually change. So many of the great masters, starting with the Buddha, pointed out that we have to change. We have to change, and we have to start living in a different way. And just simply, I would say that new way is the recognition of the sacred. Einstein went on to say, in terms of the solution, our task must be to free ourselves from this prison. Using a Buddhist term and putting it on Einstein, we could say this wrong view of life. That's the prison. the optical delusion of our mind, Einstein said, of our consciousness. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. So we have to infinitely actually expand our love and compassion. And isn't this what the great masters have taught us all along, certainly in the Buddhist tradition? So this illusion that causes all the difficulty, this dualistic split, must be transcended, must be overcome. We must reintegrate ourselves with the other. We must come to recognize that we're one with all other people. We're one with the animals. We're one with the beautiful world that we live in. Someone that grows up in the inner city and you talk to them about the beautiful world, they don't get it often, but we can get that real easy here. So we must reintegrate ourselves with the other, with nature, with other beings, but most of all with the sacred, with what is sometimes called the divine. In Buddhism, this isn't found somewhere else. We do have special places that we as human beings create, and maybe other forces and energies help us do that, but we have these places. This is now a sacred spot here at Awam with these images, with the statues, the stupas, and the Yung Chenmo, the Great Mother, that means in Tibetan. And when we're doing the dance there, that first chant was a chant to the perfection of wisdom. She's, or it, you could say, if you want to say it, but she is personified in that statue there. The Yung Chenmo, the Great Mother. The Great Mother is the perfection of wisdom, the ultimate in wisdom. Remember I said Awam meant wisdom and compassion? So when we do that chant, Gate Par Sam Gate Bodhi Svaha, that's her chant. You could say we're calling forth that innate wisdom within us. And the innate wisdom recognizes the illusory nature of all duality, of all separation. So does this. And then, so we see this in the word Awam that has the wisdom side. So that word unites the two words, wisdom and compassion, basically you could say. And so the wisdom sees the true nature of reality. And then it's the compassion that causes us to reach out in a loving, caring, and concerned way to all others, and even all experience. So for a perfectly realized person, such as a Buddha or the Buddha, there's no limit to that person's or that being's love and compassion. They don't just love the people that are good and kind and nice to them and doing things to nurture the earth and whatnot, but they love everyone. There's no end to their compassion. So I don't know if Gandhi really said it, but it's a really important point, I think, about becoming the change we want to see in the world. So we want there to be love and compassion and peace, peace at home, peace of mind within the individual, peace in communities, world peace. We want there to be love and compassion in the world, and then out of that would come a great healing. Everybody wants that. But the Buddha pointed out that we have to make that change happen within ourselves, each and every one of us. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama very often speaks about universal responsibility. And he's like pointing right at me, but right at each and every one of us, saying, we have to do that. We have to become the love and the wisdom that's represented in that word, Avam or Awam, ourselves. That's our task. So whenever I hear that word, or see the word, or come here, I think about that the yin-yang symbol is the male and the female together, right? And even on the female side, there's a representation of the male, and on the male side, there's a representation of the female. So the two are never really separate. And when we recognize that, you could say that life for us becomes like a wheel and then rolls along, rather than having conflict, between the differences and the opposites within ourselves. It's the wisdom that transcends any duality, any limiting, separating concepts like that. So one of my heroes is, lots of my heroes are poets, but Dina Metzger, I quote her often as saying, There are people trying to set the world on fire. We are in danger. So she's like talking about the problem side there, and then the next two lines are about the solution side. And then she says, a little bit surprisingly to the ego, there's only time to work slowly. There's never time not to love. So sometimes we don't want to work slowly. We see the people causing the problems and we actually want to aggress, get violent to make them stop. But she's suggesting, and I think she's right, with Gandhi and Thoreau and Martin Luther King, that the only way is to work slowly and there's never time not to love. So the Buddha lived about 2,400 or 2,500 years ago. And many people that have not looked into the teachings of the Buddha wonder, what could I have to learn in the 21st century from some barefoot guy, on the other side of the world 2,500 years ago? But if we take a close look at what the Buddha taught, and we examine our own life, relying on our own Western master, Socrates, telling us the unexamined life is not worth living. Well, if we just go on the surface of things, then we're going to live in a reactionary way, and that's the kind of thinking that causes all the problems that we have. Whereas if we go within ourselves and begin to discover the light and the love within that we are, then we see that that's what the world is, actually, and then we live inspired by that. So our task is actually, for each and every one of us, to become Buddhas rather than prisoners. And we do this for the benefit of the whole world. So in Tibetan Buddhism, we state our intention frequently, sometimes many times a day. And we say that, in a way, rather than going for inspiration or solution somewhere else, that I'm actually going for refuge to the Buddha, the teachings of the Buddha, and the community of people that practice these teachings, and that the great masters, both women and men from all around the world, who have followed that way in the past. And then we go on to say, by my practice of generosity, and the other perfections, so generosity and ethical way of living. And when I think about ethics, I think that it's what we're talking about is a compassionate, loving way of living in the world, the way we relate with the planet, with animals, with each other. The third of the perfections is patience, or forbearance, being able to put up with the difficulty on this journey of change that we're making. So we want a revolution, actually, here, but it's an inner revolution. We want to change ourselves and help other people change themselves. So we also talk about the perfection or working to complete utterly diligence. We're going to work hard on this with joyful enthusiasm. And then meditation is the fifth one. Meditation is like a great medicine. When I was a kid up here at the Bison Range, they had a great buffalo, and his name was Big Medicine, giant white buffalo. I still call him a buffalo. Other people tell me it should be a bison, but I grew up calling them buffalo, so they're buffalo for me. And you can actually see Big Medicine in the state capitol in Helena. It's worth a field trip, drive over there just to see him, something sacred to the Native Americans. Meditation is big medicine for us. It's very, very helpful and very healing. As the old line says, good for what ails you. And then the last one is wisdom. So we come back to Awam, we come back to the Yung Chenmo, the Great Mother. It's wisdom that's the pinnacle of the perfections. So in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, then, we're actually talking about becoming warriors in this inner peaceful revolution. So I would say to my friend then, with this kind of outlook and following this kind of life and progressively working on this, it is indeed possible, even in these crazy times, to achieve a joyful life, even or maybe certainly in the West. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Oh, big thanks to Lama David Curtis. Please give him another round of applause. You can find him at TibetanLanguageInstitute.org and Big Sky Mind in Missoula and in Hamilton. So if you want to take some Dharma classes and learn some Tibetan language, he's definitely the go-to guy here for Westerners who really need to have that bridge. So thank you, David Curtis. Okay, there was a woman who approached me a few minutes ago. Her name is Aisha, and since David was talking about oneness, and she asked if she could offer a song about oneness, and I don't usually take breaks in the lineup like this and do this, but we're going to do this today, and she said she'll just get you singing along for a few moments, and then we're going to invite Taj Cheland, really awesome rap and hip-hop native artist, and Rain Alexander to do rap, hip-hop, and poetry. So you guys are going to want to stick around for that. And then don't leave, because we also still have Alex Alvear to speak, and the Josh Farmer Band and Joan Zen mashup. So we'll get you dancing. We also need everyone's help tonight. If you'll stay for a few minutes and help us break down chairs and tables, it should go quickly if we have friends. Just like a mandala we've erected, we will dissolve the mandala at the end of the night, take down prayer flags and tables and chairs, and anyone who wants to stay, I'll be so grateful. So.
Thank you. I had an experience of oneness, and I asked myself, what would be true if everything was one thing? And out of that came this song. But it has a chorus, so it relies on you, okay? So I go, oneness, and you go, oneness. Okay, can we try that? Oneness. Oneness. Wonderful, thank you. And there's a chorus. Oneness. The chorus is, this is our moment in this time and place. We bless the earth. Oneness. This is our moment in this time and place. We bless the earth. You want to try that? This is our moment in this time and place. We bless the earth. Beautiful. And you can harmonize on that. Oneness. Oneness means that every time we speak the truth, the stars rejoice. And oneness. Oneness means that every loving thought restores the earth. This is our moment in this time and place. We bless the earth. Oneness. Oneness means that we can never ever be away from home. And oneness. Oneness means that we are all connected all the time. This is our moment in this time and place. We bless the earth. Great harmony. Oneness means that when we make a friend, we help the sun to shine. And oneness means that everything we love begins to live. This is our moment in this time and place. We bless the earth. We bless the earth. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for helping us do a little fundraising today while you were here. We put together this, actually Rosemary Roberson put together this amazing basket from items from our Dharma store, our Tibetan shop. And so Raquel and Heidi are here and Lama Wangmo to draw the winner of the basket. You did not need to be present to win, so whoever has the ticket, we will draw and call, I guess. Drum roll, everybody. Ready? Diana, 3812647. The number is 4835878. There she is. 4835878. Is that you, Diana? We have another Diana. I didn't know which Diana. Oh, Diane. Sorry. Bad eyes. Bad eyes, bad ears. Well, you won the basket. Did you buy tickets? Okay. Is this your handwriting? All right, let's welcome Rain Alexander for Alexandria, my bad.
It's always such a pleasure to be here, and always an awesome opportunity to open Portage. I was just thinking about what immeasurable joy is, and to me it's almost like an bottomless cup that quenches the burning drawn from sorrow with elixirs, endless elixirs of compassion. I'm going to share a poem that was given to me by a friend who is passing out of this life, and I think death is one of our deepest connections to sorrow, and because it's something we all share, it's one of our greatest opportunities to find unity, to share and give compassion to each other. Ultimately, I know that whatever happens to my body, my spirit is free and whole. Golden energy, electric sun, cosmic egg yolk spilling free to the flow, to remember, rejoin, reknow a frequency. All conscious life is tuned to be like all time before, surrendering, back to back, I and I trust in. The more we practice profound acceptance, the more we have for self and others, respecting. Surrendering, trusting, acceptance, respecting, and then all of a suddenly you, star child, bursting with the glow of your inner wild, creativity, inspiration, inspiraling titillation, instigation involving intuition. Intuition is the investment in the development of our mind's meditativeness. It is the tool divining context for our beautiful heart's wisdom. However simple, may it reflect I and I in you. You are a dream. So, reconfigure your wings. Hollow bones of man's society became fertile tubes for rooting all the healing possibilities. The necessity of love refuting the tyrant deceit. And our phoenix feathers fill in as we grow out from this drought of doubt, learning how to know a point is not what this is about. Our story is never ending. Actions writing, here written. In the insects, the toads, the shrimp, plankton, algae, and mold, whales, condors, cougars, and wolves, every microscopic to macrocosmic perspective to behold, literally seething through our cellular walls, divining us upward from our falls. Through our practice of being imperfect, we discovered the perfect journey. Pathways laid, opportunity, tangents tickle out, these sensational winds uplifting our newly refeathered wings. Bound for breaking the marionette strings, burning the beams that made the ideal structure of civility. We learned the proper rhythm, and our beating broke the bridges we didn't need, the access points they claim for efficiency. Began the desertification of the wild waters we need to ride heart to this sea we share universally. Peace.
So much trouble in the world, so much Trouble in the world, so much. Trouble in the world, trapped in illusion, caught in intention, trapped with confusion, emotional ties that bound and blind the eyes. You're not your pain that sits behind the eyes. Emotions felt, frequencies, tame and change the brain. Trickles through the pond, meta bhavna. Be the change you wish to see. Believe, 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 believe. So here we are, walking Earth, celebrating life. From sun up to sundown, shadows in the night. From Stonehenge to the sons of Chichen-Itza, with sun dogs and rainbows and colors to greet ya. Tibet and Himalaya, I seek a rainmaker. I travel with ease and breeze through those ley lines and grid lines and ley lines and grid lines. Yes, upon her body, yeah. I say, yo, knock, knock, who is it? It's fear. Fear is at the door, cause fear can only catalyze me anymore, yeah? And if you get a chance, why don't you give a little bit of energy for the people to dance? And when you get a chance, why don't you give a little bit of energy for the people to dance? And when you get a chance, we give a little bit of energy, yeah? And when you get a chance, why don't you give a little bit of energy for the people to dance? And when you get a chance, why don't you give a little bit of energy? I hit that verse too, giving a clue to walk a mile in they shoe. Yeah, the Miriam move. I said deep in the cauldron. Yeah, the embers will burn. I said compassion will filter. Yes, the lessons I've learned. I said the footsteps and footprints and sixth sense. Third eye be glimpsed. Yes, emotions I feel. Raw essence congealed. Yeah, the link and appeal. I said the energy I feel so deep and so real. I said the volcanoes will blast. Yeah, the energy fast. Computing the data, energetic farm math. I said trapped in the mind, yo, trapped in the mind. There's confusion up in the key to get in the mind, yeah. And if you get a chance, but you can give a little bit of energy for the people to dance. And when you get a chance, why don't you give a little bit of energy? So what is freedom? Subjective freedom of the soul, free to the mind. Free from the abstract thoughts that keep us trapped in time. Ice black on me, yeah, yeah. My people go with the flow, even though they're known as not known, for we up in the zone. My people go with the flow, even though they're known as not known, for we up in the zone. My people go with the flow, even though they're known as not known, for we up in the zone. My people go with the flow, even though they're known as not known, for we up in the zone. You can take it to the bank, yeah, money well spent. The power of words with the force of intent. It's a mythical journey, yeah, we proud to present. I said lights, camera, action, time to invent. I said them new ways, a new stage, time to create, time to pervade, time to elevate, just the pace, say, elevate the masses, cultivate compassion, propagate the message, make a call to action, revolution, evolution, organize, make a stance, bang a car, make a paw, make a call, begin the dance, the rhythm of the music, rest within the soul, the people of the world, the energy will grow, a force to be reckoned with, the people keep on stepping with the peaceful resistance, just to melt the system, a message to the 1%, a message from the masses, you are the 1%, there's power in the asses, want to go, they're known as not known, for we up in the zone, my people go with the flow, even though they're known as not known, for we up in the zone, yeah, the people go with the flow, even though they're known as not known, for we up in the zone, yeah, the people go with the flow, even though they're known as not known, for we up in the zone, well, yeah, 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 well, yeah, 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 well, yeah, yeah, how y'all doing out there? Well, yeah, yes, yeah, I keep my freedom, just the freedom in the mind, just to see what's designed, just to see. Good to see you all. bananas, either in a club or cabana. Bodies in the building, high key like Louisiana. Hot sauce, make you jump like crisscross. Tantalize the senses, euphoric endorphins. Beat is like morphine, melodies are pouring from the speakers. Sweatshop sneakers, no one's in the bleachers. Everyone's up in the crowd, moving and shaking, they're getting loud. SoundCloud, rock the rhythm, blow the whistle, so train. No half stepping, representing the boom and the click. The rhyme in the pocket, the hip hop, 808 drop. Suddenly it's elementary, the relevancy. Check my melody, my resume, my pedigree. It's in the way we flip and rock the beat steadily. And it's the passion that we put up in the recipe. Whereas the people party energy. Energy. Oh yes, fire, fire, loosen up the body now. Higher, higher, let the flames burn and grow. Fire, fire, open up the soul. Higher, higher, let the flames burn and grow. Fire, fire, loosen up the body now. Higher, higher, let the flames burn and grow. Fire, fire, open up the soul. Higher, higher, let the flames burn and grow. A DJ turn it up and make it real loud. Move the crowd, my people wanna hit that 9 cloud. Let the rhythm hit them, let the rhythm hit them. Fill them to the brim, keep them moving and sweating like they was at the gym. It's out of sight, party people to the left and right. Shaking the tail feather deep into the night, yeah. My people represent to the extent to keep the party pushing till all the energy spent. Until the lights are turned on and it's time to go home. But we ain't thinking about that right now, we up in the zone. It's the 808 generation, boombox and hip-hop, electronic non-stop, take it to the spot. Nostalgia in the air from all the energy drops. Anticipation of the DJ, what next will be dropped. Fire, fire, loosen up the body now. Higher, higher, let the flames burn and grow. Fire, fire, open up the soul. Fire, fire, let the flames burn and grow. Fire, fire, loosen up the body now. Higher, higher, let the flames burn and grow. Fire, fire, open up the soul. Higher, higher, let the flames burn and grow. On the dance floor, shake to the rhythm. Feeling all the people, yes, I'm wrong with the rhythm. Feeling all the people, yes, but yes to the rhythm. If you sound loud, boy, be shocked, boy, be able. And the microphone, be stock, be come up with my rhythm and my rhythm to rock. I said from the east to the side, to the south, to the west. We spin up on the globe, yes, we keep it on the best, yeah. Fire, fire, loosen up the body now. Higher, higher, let them flames burn and grow. Fire, fire, loosen up the soul. Higher, higher, let the flames burn and grow. Fire, fire, loosen up the body now. Higher, higher, let the flames burn and grow. Fire, fire, loosen up the soul. Higher, higher, let the flames burn and grow. Let loose, now shake your caboose. Let loose, now shake, shake, Sonora. Thank you all. My name is Taj. I'm from the zoo where 3 rivers merge to one. West of the Pacific where the salmon start to run. Ravens snatch the crystal, creating stars and sun. Embrace the unknown, the great mystery web spun. We motivate from Glacial Lake to Beacon Hill. Got more ambition and skills to do more than just pay the bills. Our backs were aching from steady bringing home the bacon. Had to stop, reevaluate the situation. No more shaking and baking, no time wasting. Yes, we feel it all. And it's all for the intention and all for the being and all for all of you and I and all sentient beings and all for the peaceful taking. Thank you. In Lakota Sioux, they call water mani. And I fasted on the hill one time for 4 days with no food and water. And I got back to Inipi. And we had to sweat 2 more rounds before we could enter back. And that first taste of water made me feel like I was reborn again. I got a couple clues, mastermind like checkmate. Peep the angles to see how they interrelate. And when I got the feeling, I open up the floodgate. Go with the flow, channeling those tracks of fate. I peep my energies and what I placed on my plate. Watching time, conscious of a brother being late. Time ticks in the pocket, bass, wrist in the kick. Peep the energy and how it levitates to lift. Tweak the lens, the bends, perceptual shifts. Cross current convergence, a mystery steadily myth. This that red rock rhythm that hit them right between the eye. A battle to the death, eye against eye. So what you gonna do with that well run dry? Third eye blind, sting like a bee, fly like a butterfly in the unknown. With my headphones on, I make my mark. Graffiti, pictograph art, flint mapping the tools, art creating the spark. I paint a picture with my mind's eye, capsulate the mental, perceive with awareness when I'm approaching the sentinel. Open up the mainframe, time for the Dow. Gon' fly so high, head in the clouds, grounded with Mother Earth and feeling the sounds. Gon' fly so high, head in the clouds, grounded with Mother Earth and feeling the sounds. Oh yes, yes, we're gon' fly so high, we're gonna touch the sky, yeah. What's that, yeah, gonna fly so high. I'm from the ancient glacial lake, open land treasure state. I'm from the zoo with 3 rivers merged to one. West of the Pacific where the salmon start to run. Salmon scratch the system, create your stars and sun. Embrace the unknown, the great mystery res fun. Yeah, we motivate from glacial lake to Beacon Hill. Got more ambition and skills to do more than just pay the bills. Our backs were aching, but steady bringing home the bacon. Had to stop, reevaluate the situation. No more shaking and baking, no time wasted. Yes, we hustle with intention and it's all for the taking. I'm Taj Bo, Suyabi from the zoo. I am my brother's keeper, yes, my people so true. We're gonna fly so high, head in the clouds, grounded with Mother Earth, the feeling the sounds. Gonna fly so high, head in the clouds, grounded with Mother Earth, the feeling the sounds. We're gonna fly so high, we're gonna touch the sky. We're gonna fly so high, we're gonna touch the sky. Yeah, yeah. I see sunsets with a double black. I see my light with a black on jazz. I see my lights are keeping on the fly, yeah, yeah. The power of that one self resides up in you. Hold it down. Well, yes, I Thank you. David was talking about big medicine. And back in Missoula, the old Indian center used to be called Kwakwi, which was Salish for big medicine. A Salish elder came to the young one and said, Yo-yo tenkus tamas ba'us. Strong one, what's in your heart is in your mind, and what's in your mind is in your heart. And the young one looked at the elder and ran off. And the elder saw the young one once again and said, young one, yo-yo tenkus tamas ba'us. Strong one, tell me what's in your heart is in your mind, and what's in your mind is in your heart. Tell me. And the young one felt and looked around and felt and saw the smoke in the air and started seeing all the confusion in the world and started seeing war and started seeing different things that took place that started giving him a dysfunctional reaction to society. Hell, yo, son! Because the dysfunctional reaction to a society was only the reaction to a dysfunctional society that was given to him. And the young one went off into the hills and sat for 4 days and came back and started mercurially looking at the fireplace as the fire was crackling and shifting between the time space of picking bitterroot in the 1700s back to 2015 and the switch in the time. And the grandfather came to the young one, and the grandfather came to the young one and said, yo-yo tenkus stamas ba'us. Strong one, what's in your heart is in your mind. What's in your mind is in your heart. Tell me. And the young one thought, and the young one felt, and the young one looked at the fire crackling, and the young one tasted the bitterroot that was in his mouth, and the young one said, Quelu, butterfly, transformation. Rocket boosters blast through the atmosphere. Ground control, I feel we got a problem here. The gravitational pull is taking its toll. The point of no return, yes, I feel we spinning out of control. Spread the message, peace, we are one. As we take another journey around the sun. Hip up corner pocket, let me drop it. Pushing through the stratosphere, afterburner boost from the rocket. Bass and kick, drop it. Rhythm rocket, I got it. Energy flowing from the source, can't stop it. Open up the heart, electronic spark. 808, activate, illuminate the dark. To stop the violence, to break the silence, to start to stand up, to wake up, to know each other. It takes a tribe to raise a child, sister to brother. We children of the earth, how long must we suffer? Open up the heart, open up the mind, open up the eye. It's about that time, oh yes, it's about that time now, yo. Said, open up the heart, open up the mind, open up the eye. It's about that time, oh, yeah, yeah. It's the time, conscious evolution, no time for snoozing. Knowledge, power, galactical revolution. People choosing, seeking solutions, looking through delusions and smoke of mere illusions. Coming to conclusions, the wizard is exposed, the emperor was closed, the truth has arose. So set the captives free, third to the fifth with the shift. Open up the eye to see the full beauty. Well, yes, I can. Yes, I cried. Oh, yeah. Open up the heart and the mind will follow. Open up the heart and mind and the eye will follow. Open up to all the wonders in the world. Open up expansion, energy swirls. Germination of a seed planted in the earth. Spinning on a garden planet with so much worth. The mystery written in the stars, our history. Embrace the great mystery. I see so much as far as transformation. Rise up, folk, humanity can represent your nation. No longer will we be afflicted by the fear. Evolution of the species is evidently clear. Believing that there's a reason that you walk from earth, from birth through the changes of seasons. Breathing and seeking the powers of one as we take another journey around the sun. To stop the violence, to break the silence, to start to stand up, to wake up, to know each other. It takes a tribe to raise a child, sister to brother. We children of the earth, how long must we suffer? Well, yes, I am. Open up the heart and the mind will follow. Open up the heart and mind and the eye will follow. Open up to all the wonders in the world. Open up expansion, energy swirls. Germination of a seed planted in the earth. Spinning on a garden planet with so much worth. The mystery written in the stars, our history. Embrace the great mystery. Well, yes, I am. When I say peace, you say now, peace, peace. When I say now, you say peace now, now. Hey, thank you so much, I'm Taj. It's such a blessing to be out here. Thank you. One more? I work at I work at Willard Alternative High School. I'm the new clinical therapist there. I went to grade school there, and it's a surreal experience. And I feel honored. In this tune, Penelope actually is on this tune here in the recording. Soundman, maybe we could get this one just turned up just a little bit more because I'm a bass head. What is this life we keep on living? As we earth track the globe, the world keeps on spinning. Abstract to minimal thought, your emotional intelligence, a penny for your thought. She said she felt like she was going crazy. 17 years old, about to have a baby. Her baby's daddy's locked up behind those iron bars. Drug possession, war on drugs, a felony charge. He just turned 18, looking at a special 5 to hit the prison block, wondering if he will survive. Meanwhile, his baby mama kicked up a family house. Her father's cold words, now she's living hand to mouth. out. She's doing 4 months couch surfing with her friends. Senior year job searching, gotta make those ends. Used, abused, bruised throughout her whole life. For herself to fund the son to the sacrifice. Put herself and trying to get it for that make a dough. To keep the message in the message where we're keeping on. To keep it up in the heart and keep it in the mind. But let the energy out. It's about that time. Where does that spring come from? From within, to persevere through the most tough condition. With the energy that dance in life, to make them lemons into lemonade and cheap the sacrifice. To keep on going on, driven with the tribulation, lock it in the heart, mind, felt imagination. To know thyself, what's the inspiration, the earth walk journey. His childhood, abuse and alcohol, physical, emotional, with thoughts to end it all. The act of suicide, flatline, he died. Near-death experience, a journey to the other side. The mission, suicide is not your time. Back in the body, alchemize that water into wine. A deep breath, the gas, woke up in the hospital. A glimpse of everything in life that was possible. He started teaching, took his message on the road. Teach the children, be the children, now it's time to be bold. It doesn't matter where you come or where you went through. What matters how you change your life and how you shift your lens to. You're not your pain. Shift the script and said the same. Shed the blame, this is your time, it's time to claim. A new chapter, you're the author, write the script. A mythical adventure, now it's time to publish it. Feel this script, change it in the heart, change it in the mind. Yes, it's about that time. Your motivation's a warrior, taking a chance. The theme's the unknown west in which you look with a glance. It's partly cloudy, a chill in the air, a chance of rain. You conjure the courage, for there's no shame in your game. You take a deep breath, knowing that this breath could be your last breath. Copacetic and ready, so you take your next step. All alone in the midst of the unknown. Fear and panic arise, you far from the comforts of home. Far from the known, far from where you'd even consider home. All alone in the depths of the psyche. How you said to block the pocket, you know, when you wanna keep my people, then I said to, your 5-finger funk, I keep it in the mic, and she's to keep it in the bar, and keep it in the, well, there's that 5-finger funk that will dump in your trunk. Even the nose down in the cave, that grave, that's belong to the adventure of a lifetime as we climb. Blinded by darkness, the sun lit the sign in my mind. The way the raven swings, grip the airplane transpose. I suppose it's light flowing from my soul as the moon grabs a hold the gravitational pull. Since my state of consciousness, bliss begging for more. The metamorphosis of me close up in the cocoon. Yes, the time is yes, and the time is coming soon. The time is coming soon, it's best to check the holy prophecy. 11th hour, 11th day, can't you feel me? Now's the time to speak of your mind. Get that stuff out your chest. Lights the jets, burn the flares for the quest. Yo, Glacier Lake Kid, Pacific and Northwest. And either you got heart or your chest has your heart compressed. Kicking up dust, it's a must that we bust. The pen and the pad, the microphone is deeper than lust. A love for the music, a love for the people. What's that? Oh, I ain't a thinker from the drum on, but then tough condition. To keep my people in the black police act, to keep it on the higher ones up on the hot, yeah. Well, yes, I feel the way I feel. About to have a baby. Open up your heart and open up your mind. I say now, open up your heart, it's about that time. I feel it, I feel it, and there's the energy behind. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Thank you so much. I got a third album coming out in November, and I'm honored to have a full band that's backing me. We're 3 rehearsals in, and we bring the horns in on Sunday. If anybody wants to purchase a copy of my last album, Sweatshop Sneakers, I have a few copies here. That'll go to the gardens here, the purchase proceeds. Thank you.
All right. Well, don't go anywhere. We still have some program left for you. Well, after that riveting, uplifting performance, we've got even more for you. So this wonderful, kind, quiet young man who's been over here working tirelessly all day with wind and rain and canopies blowing and paper, making a graphic facilitation of today's event, would like to come. Actually, we asked him to come and speak today. But I'd like to give you a little bit about his bio, just so that you know who he is. Alex Alvear entered the Maitreya Buddhist Seminary in 2000 on his 25th birthday. Marriage, mortgages, death, and child rearing have drawn out his Dharma student training for over a decade and a half now, including a 5-year side stint exploring biblical Christianity. Currently teaching in the liberal arts department at the Salish Kootenai College, he hopes to finish his ordination before he turns 50. So please welcome the talented and amazing Alex Alvear. Alvear, sorry.
Hello? So before I talk about anything, I like to do first. So I'm going to take refuge in Korean. That's the Zen tradition I come from. It's the Korean Zen tradition. So. 지심 위명내 시방삼세 제망 자레 상주 일체 부다야 아중 기심 외명내 시방삼세 제망 자레 상주 일체 달마야 아중 지심 외명내 시방삼세 제망 자레 상주 일체 산가야 Aha, June. That's really fun with the wind blowing. So a little story. When this place was just getting going, and I teach at Sailors Kootenai College, so I drive up a lot, and every once in a while, I just get off 93, pull over real fast, run out to this field, and chant that very quickly, and then run back into my car and get to work. And the reason being is that in my tradition, it's very important to do. It's very important to, in fact, do first. Think about, theorize about, wonder about, talk about, everything else after. So now that we've chanted, now that we've taken refuge, now we can talk. Or now I could go to work. Or now I could just simply drive north and not worry about dying or, being late or anything like that. It's about setting ourselves up. And so, talking about joy today, the way that I was brought into the temple was actually a very basic way of doing it. The first thing that happens to you if you were to walk into our temple is someone says to you, "Welcome. Please take your shoes off." And when you take your shoes off, arrange them in a certain way, tuck your laces in, heels touching together against the wall. If you know where your laces are, you know where your mind is. If you take care of the little things here, all those big questions, all the big spiritual things you want to get into, that'll take care of itself. First of all, do you know where your laces are? Do you know where your hands are? And so that was the kind of training that I received. Everything very grounded in just doing things. And the reason why is when we teach, we have what's called the 5 fingers of Zen. And my teacher, Sunam, he was very clear. He's like, this is your basic formula for human happiness. First one, meditation. Okay. Second, chanting. Third, manual labor. Fourth, geez, what is fourth? Prostrations. Oh, that's right. Fourth, prostrations. And fifth, this is the most interesting one. No books. No Dharma books. No books about meditation. You're not allowed to read for the first 5 weeks of your training. And right away, all of us were like, but come on, I just read this great book. I want to talk about this. And an instant reaction as soon as they say that, right? The first thing I want to do is go to my bookshelf and pull out something by Thich Nhat Hanh and start reading that thing. And to take that away, at first I had a lot of resistance to that. But the reason why that was very pivotal in the early days of the training was that my teacher was very specific. I don't want you to be a parrot. I don't want you to quote a bunch of stuff and say mindfulness, mindfulness, oneness, and all these sorts of things, and not actually know what that feels like. I want you to meditate and just meditate. Have the experience, not what you read about it, not what you think about it, not how you want it to be, how it is. And so, that was the beginning of my training. Very basic stuff. We'd go on retreats, and we'd spend about 4 to 5 days in total silence. except for if we really needed to because we're on a construction project or because we are, there's something that definitely needs verbal expression. But otherwise, you spend 5 days with complete strangers who you haven't spoken to at all. You haven't said a single word to them, and yet you know them very well. You know when they need help. You know when they're sitting next to you and they're getting tired. You know when they've left their glasses in the bathroom, and you run after them and quietly get them for them. It's a different kind of experience when we're forced to drop what we think, to drop what we know, and to just actually do something, whatever that is. Whether that's sweeping the floor, whether that's cleaning the toilet, whether that's putting up drywall, which I absolutely hate, but I had to do it. And you're left with just you and your mind. And yes, you have all your friends around you who you can't talk to, but oddly enough, you feel deeply connected to everybody. And you feel like you know what everybody else needs. And so, when I think about living joyfully, I think it's really important to really ground things in simple, basic, everyday practices. And from those practices, from taking care of these small things, all the bigger things, over the years for me, they were right. They tended to just answer themselves. And they weren't things that I even needed to elaborate upon with a big, long Dharma talk, because I would have to do them on Sundays. Instead, I'd end up talking about, so this is how you find broccoli in the garden if you've never gardened before. This is what it looks like to see 3 tomatoes ripe and 1 crow sitting on the branch. This is how it feels to get a glass of water in the middle of the night. And so, I think when we talk about living joyfully, think about what you do in terms of how do you ground yourself. The way we do it, again, meditation, yes, of course. The second one's prostrations. So we do lots of those. I have 1,000 of them I have to do on Tuesday. It hurts your knees sometimes. But the interesting thing about a prostration is that whatever is going on in your head, whatever's going on in your heart, you do 1,000 or even 100 of these, it's really hard to hang on to that. So actually, in our tradition, we would say, if you're having a really rough time emotionally or mentally, sitting meditation is not actually the best thing, because you will not be able to meditate your way out of that. Maybe you can if you're lucky. But you actually have to outwit, you have to outrun your monkey mind, your darker self, your darker half that keeps coming out. And so the way we do it, then, whenever we're all having, any of us are having really strong emotional things happening, if I walk into the meditation hall and I see that my friend, I can tell she's crying, and she is there, and she's doing 100 prostrations, 200, she's been there for a couple hours, just pumping up and down and going. The most compassionate thing you can do is either give her space so that she can work it out, or actually come in right beside her and help her finish the 1,000 prostrations. And do them next to her. Do them with her. And when it's done, maybe you give each other a high five or a hug, and there's not a whole lot that needs to be said. A prostration is very basic. You go like this, you touch your head down to the floor, and you come back up fresh. And that's the rule. Come down to the floor, put it down. Whatever it is. Whatever you're in love with, whether that's your own anger, your own greed, or you're just infatuated with so-and-so, or you're obsessed with this or that, put it down. Not mentally, physically put it down. Drop it. And come back up fresh, new, brand new self. Completely new. And if you're still hanging on, do it again. Go back down. Do the prostration, drop it, come back up. And that is actually the key to letting go of hard stuff. Or even the great stuff that's just distracting you all the time. Okay. And so with the chanting, okay, so meditation, I'm not going to lead you through meditation. You all do that. You all know. Good job. So prostrations, that's a basic one. Okay. Chanting. The reason why we do chanting, then, is there's something about your voice, there's something about creating the vibrations and the sounds that it just clears you out in other ways. So if the prostrations aren't working, chant. And whatever you want to chant, I don't care what it is, don't worry about your voice, just do it somewhere. Okay. Do it for 5 minutes if you need to. Set a timer. Okay, we're just going to chant 30 times. And just see how it resets you, if it does. In my experience, without failure, it always does. Okay? So again, something to do, not to think about, not to talk about, not to aspire to, just do it, and the rest will come from there. Okay? All right. Which one there? Where are we now? So we did chanting. Oh, manual labor, right? That's right, number 4. Same thing. It's really nice to know when you have a hammer and nails in your hand and to take your time and just hit the hammer on the nail. Do that one, and then do the next one, and do the next one. Or doing the dishes. Just do the dishes for right now. Life is chaos. My kids are going crazy. Things are stressful. I don't really have a whole lot of control right now, but I'm just going to wash these dishes one at a time, quietly, watching and knowing where both my hands are. Remember the thing about the laces? If you know where your laces are, you know where your mind is. If you know where your hands are, you know where your mind is, right? It can actually be very stabilizing. And so the last one we kind of already touched on with the no books, the direct experience. Okay. So that's not just about meditation. That's not just about the prostrations. It's actually, that permeates everything. I mean, we do go on to read books. They let us read books. Okay, that's fine. But for the beginning, especially getting into the early months of the training, it is really important to connect to the practice, to connect to the formula, connect to it directly by doing it. Again, not by having read about it, not by having chatted about it with a bunch of people. Go through it directly. Have a direct experience. So, I kind of wish I had something more profound to say to all of you about living joyfully. You know, something a little more, I don't know, esoteric, but I don't. Because this is the formula from which everything else in my life has unfolded very well for me. This was the formula that, as Sunam had said to me, he's like, it's a formula for union happiness. This was the basic formula that I can genuinely say saved my life. So, there we go. The 5 fingers of Zen. Try them, see which ones worked for you, have your own experience. Thank you.
All right. Wow, what a lineup we had today. It's pretty awesome. You know, sometimes we've gotten 500 or 1,000 people here, but the 200 of you that were here seemed like you really got it and were really into the program. So we have 2 very short pieces, and then we're going to invite Josh Farmer to come up and perform. For those of you who don't know, we usually have a volunteer program right here at the garden, and students and young people, middle-aged people, whoever feels inspired to come and work and stay at the garden for a few months, they go through a small application process, and then they come and they stay for a week or 6 weeks or 3 months, and we've been fortunate to have a few that have stayed most of this summer. So we're going to invite 2 of them to come up, one after the other, and share something. The first one is Alma, and she's been here for a few months, and we've known her for quite a while. So I'd like to invite her up now if she'd like to. She's going to share a poem with you and hopefully some insights that you'll enjoy. Alma.
Okay, so the following poem that I will be reciting was written by a cousin of mine, Esteban Ariano, who passed away last October. It's a little bit about northern New Mexico, where I'm from, this is for all the people that he's inspired, mostly from northern New Mexico, all of New Mexico, the world actually. So here it goes. Forgetful memory. My memory is starting to fade, not only mine, but also the Earth's. The sorrel-roasted colored horse no longer knows how to work. He doesn't recognize the plow, neither the sod-buster, much less the tiller. A century ago, the horse was man's best friend. He helped bring firewood from the brow of the mountain, following the Plaza Arroyo. With a horse, man used him to recreate the horse race site, plays horse hockey, and pulling the rooster. Men were robust, strong, and worked from sun up to sun down. And women not only tended to their families, they also took care of the corn and the chili plots. During the winter, they lived off the dried squash and Mexican melons. The clotheslines could be seen from a distance, full of beef and lamb jerky. The acequias fed the communities with water to irrigate the fields. From there, they also drank water, both people and animals. Women used its water to wash their clothes. Their banks were the community roads, a complex of mazes. Today, they have disappeared. The memory has faded. The same as the pharaohs and the roads have disappeared. The mountains burn instead of allowing people to harvest them. We no longer know which plants heal us and which makes us sick. We can die of hunger surrounded by edible plants and die of thirst while standing on top of water. How sad when a person loses their memory, but worse when the earth loses its ability to produce. And the seeds don't know when to sprout. They already forgot, since they are not native to this land. I feel sad that within a century, our memory disappeared. The land no longer produces. It became very thin. The acequias no longer run. The water is dirty instead of crystalline. Our language is no longer spoken. Our sons are ashamed. Thank you.
Okay, here's our second resident volunteer, Trinity Kowalski, who is going to, she's going to sing a song for you. I heard her sing this a few months ago. It's beautiful, so.
Hello, guys. I just want to thank you all for coming out. This is actually my first Peace Festival, and it's been such an amazing day, and everybody I've met here has just like filled me with so much love. This song I actually sang the first night I came here. I came here the last night of Drupshud, which is like this huge retreat, and they were doing soak, and so I offered this song. And so this is my last day here. Actually, I'm leaving tomorrow, so I kind of wanted to like sing it as like an offering for everything, I guess. To be humble, to be kind, is the giving of peace in your mind. To a stranger, to a friend, to give in such a way it has no end. We are love, we are one, we are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we are war, we are how we treat each other and nothing more. To be bold, to be brave, is the thinking that the heart can still be saved. And the darkness can come quick, the dangers in the anger and the hanging on to it. We are love, we are one, we are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we are war, we are how we treat each other and nothing more. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so are you guys all pooped out, or you want to hear some more music? All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, after a full day, please welcome back Josh Farmer.
2-2.
To have it, you know why love's coming to me. Maybe you know why we've got to have it. You know why love's coming in free. Maybe you know why we've got to have it. You know why love's coming to me. Maybe you know why we've got to have it. You know why love's coming in free. Love's coming in free. It's a meaningful and sacred life. We've got these gifts divine to shine. Spread it at the speed of light and love. Maybe love will let us all know that this is how it goes. Or maybe you know why I've got to have it. You know why love's coming to me. Maybe you know why we've got to have it. You know why love's coming to me. Maybe you know why I've got to have it. You know why love's coming to me. Maybe you know why I've got to have it. You know why love's coming in free. This time, no more breaking my resolve. Got our problems, we can solve them all by listening with open hearts, encouraging this circus act of balancing between my thoughts on reality and what is actually happening. All these signs have their meaning. And on that note, I learned to let it all go. Though my mind may ever know the reasons why for all the suffering, I will do the best I can to understand a means of offering a giving from my hands back to the land of milk and harmony. Yeah, this broken human family needs love. And this is how maybe you know why I've got to have it. You know why love's coming to me. Maybe you know why we've got to have it. You know why love's coming to me. Maybe you know why we've got to have it. You know why love's coming to me. Maybe you know why we've got to have it. You know why love's coming to me. Love's coming in free. Love's coming in free. Love's coming in free. Love's coming in free. Yeah, thanks, guys. We figured since the sound guys were still here, that we may as well make some music. It's not every day someone runs sound for you.
That's a true statement. Especially guys as great as Steve and Kyle.
Let's give it up for Steve and Kyle. take off your shoes and stay for a while. Come to the garden and rest. Shed skin of lies. Come as you are, the best and the worst of you too. I'll watch as you listen, listen to you. I'll watch as you listen, listen to you. Take off your shoes and stay for a while. Come to the garden and rest. Shed skin of lies. Come as you are, the best and the worst of you too. I'll watch as you listen, listen to you. I'll watch as you listen, listen to you. I got memories that outlive this skin thing I'm renting from a home way beyond what my eyes see. Would you know you got memories that outlive this skin thing you're renting from a home way beyond what your eyes see. Ancient symphony plucking the heartstrings. Would you know I got memories that outlive the skin thing we're renting from a home way beyond what my eyes see. Ancient family, come let your voice sing. Whoa, come let your voice sing. Whoa, come let your voice sing. Take off your shoes and stay for a while. Now come to the garden and rest as you shed skins of lies. Come as you are, the best and the worst of you too. I'll watch as you listen, listen to you. We'd like to bring up Stevie Wonder, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. What are we playing? We just couldn't get him, you know. All right. Josh Farmer. Woo! Everybody who braved the smoke and the wind and the rain and the weather, and thanks so much. Come on, Life, let's dance.
box. Tonight there will be a party at the corner at the end of the block. What did it do with you? We'll be jumping into the freak of dawn. I bet nobody ever told you that you. We'll be jumping into the freak of dawn. We'll be jumping and jumping and jumping and jumping on. They want us to join their fighting. But our answer today is to let all our worries, like the breeze through a finger, slip away. Peace is confusing my way through was right on the one. Now's the time for celebration, 'cause we've only just begun. But didn't know you. We'll be jumping into the Master Blaster German. Nobody ever told you that you. We'll be jumping into the Master Blaster German. I bet nobody ever told you that you. We'll be jumping into the Master Blaster German. Nobody ever told you that you. We'll be jumping into the Master German.
Mr. Blaster.
Man, it's hard to sing in this smoke.
It's hard to sing in this smoke. I give it up for the teachers.
They don't let you live. They don't let you breathe.
All right. All right. I'm going to feature Josh again. We're only going to do a few, guys, because we know everybody's tired. We still need help breaking down all these chairs and tables. If you'll stay for a half an hour after, that would be awesomonious. We invited Stevie to the festival, and we invited Bob Marley to the festival, so here we go.
One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. As it was in the beginning, one love, so it shall be in the end. One heart, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Saying, let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. 'Cause there is one thing I'd really like to ask. Is there a place for the hopeless sinner who has hurt all mankind, just to save his own singing?
Come on, sing it, y'all.
One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children crying. I can hear the children crying. One heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Singing, let's get together and feel alright.
Them all pass the dirty remarks.
One love,
There is one question I'd really love to ask.
one heart.
Is there a place for a hopeless sinner who has hurt all mankind just to save his own being?
One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright.
Hear the children crying?
One love,
Hear the children crying?
one heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Saying, let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart.
Sing it, y'all.
Let's get together and feel alright. As it was in the beginning, one love, so it shall be in the end. One heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Saying, let's get together and feel alright. Sing it now. One love,
Make it loud.
one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children crying. One love. Hear the children crying. One heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel
You guys are so good hanging in there like this.
Thanks for letting us finish off the night here.
can't believe
All
you
right,
guys
we're
are
going to do a
still
couple
here.
more for you since you're sticking around. Yeah, come on. Just say the why. Very superstitious. Nothing more to say. Very superstitious. The devil's on his way. guys next time. Be
Thank
peaceful,
you.
be happy. Thanks for having us. Woo, woo, woo. All right.
Let's take a moment really quickly to thank Deb Hicks for doing everything to make this festival possible.
Hey. Yeah,
She's
yeah.
been working for months to put this together, and she does so much. She puts her whole heart and soul into
Thank you,
it.
guys.
So.
All 18 of us had a thoroughly good time.
Yes, yes.
Thank you guys so much. The garden is such an inspiration to me, and the biggest reason I live every day and breathe every day, and so it's easy to do.
And when you get a chance, why don't you give a little bit of energy for the people to dance? And when you get a chance, we'll give a little bit of energy, yeah. And when you get a chance, why don't you give a little bit of energy for the people to dance? And when you get a chance, why don't you give a little bit of energy? I hit that verse too, giving a clue to walk 'em out of their shoe.